Welcome, my darling pretties, to our Beyond the Dawn of Business podcast for pretty, empowered female entrepreneurs. It's time to step into your power, pretties. Lift each other, support the squad, and choose a life filled with the autonomy and freedom to live your dreams. I'm your host, Dawn Beth, owner and founder of Beyond the Dawn digital business brand and agency. My coffee is hot and my eyelashes are on, so we are ready to go. Hi, and welcome to today's episode. Today I'm coming to you very, very tired and very, very happy. So this last week has been one of the most incredible weeks of our entire business. It's been absolutely wonderful, and that's because we had 2 days of what we lovingly call content camp with 25 plus entrepreneurs and a team of 11 plus. For 2 whole days we were gathering really good quality content for our clients so that it can be used time and time again in a beautiful way for messaging. And obviously when you get all of your people together in the same room, it can be incredibly important and empowering and quite emotional at times, which is exactly what it was this past week in the best possible way. When we talk about marketing and we talk about messaging, sometimes it has to get deep because you have to try and find a way in which you relate to your ideal client, which is often an emotive subject. It might bring up a story about yourself or an experience that you've had that you want to save others from. It may be something that you want to express because it's really, really important for you as a person and it's tied into your identity or your personality or your sense of worth and purpose. And these things are not small subjects. These are the types of things that need a safe container and need to be given love and care when they are discussed, which is something that we did, something that we always do, but we did especially well over these two days together, and it has been incredible. Now, the clients that came and joined us actually did so on the back of a bonus for my signature course, which I know I've spoken about before, Audience Attraction. Now, that previously has always been a live 12 to 14 module course that I've run every single year for the last few years, sometimes twice a year. And it's also the backbone of our certification process, the methodology that we created in our company that we were using as our white label kind of blueprint, you know, our guidelines, our Bible, if you will, when we were building up the agency and actually taking on social media support work for other companies. It's actually become a real stable backbone to our business in other areas as well. It's become the main structure of our certification process, and our certification process is now the only recognised quality trading standard trademark for the whole of the UK, which is amazing because we've set a precedent. In an unregulated field, we now can say that all of our certified social media managers are not just certified because we think they're fabulous, but they've actually met the criteria of that quality level of work through the UK trademark office, which is really, really special. And I'm so happy that we have that. And all of that has been born from Audience Attraction. And we knew earlier on in the year that this was going to be the last time that we were going to run the live course version of this methodology. And the main reasons for why is because in a very, very strategic, very, very open business sense, we knew that we were outpricing it for our market. Those of you that look at general marketing terms, might be quite proud of me for putting my big girl head on and looking at this from a business perspective. Because audience attraction, as much as I love it, and I do love it, it's grown to such a degree that the content within is bigger and juicier and takes longer to process than what it did before. And the amount of time that it takes for somebody to consume that content and to be able to make a return on that content is getting longer and deeper. And of course, the results are richer, which we love. And the return on the investment is higher, which is fabulous. So there are some really good positives. But the people who need that information the absolute most are the people who are building audiences quite regularly from a small number or no numbers at all. Which means that if we're being completely open with the demographic for Audience Attraction, the live course, it is putting a lot of the information that we put together in the hands of people who perhaps don't have a massive budget because they don't have a lot of leads yet. And that's what they need it for. So we recognised that as it grows and as we price it accordingly, it's always been underpriced due to the value, but we couldn't maintain it and we couldn't swallow any more of the costs associated for it as it continues to get bigger. We'd have had to put it out at the £3,000 to £5,000 per person mark to keep it out there and running and doing what it needs to do, which just isn't a figure that is what I consider to be accessible for the people who need it the most. So we made the decision, and it was heartbreaking because I really, really want to continue the message and the methodology of audience attraction. I don't ever want that to go away. I always want it to exist in the BTD dimension, in our little multiverse. And we really, really didn't want to let it die, but we weren't sure the best way to rebirth it. We weren't sure the best way to reformat it. And a couple of months ago, me and my team went for a strategy spa day, which if you haven't ever done a strategy spa day, may I invite you to consider that as a possibility because they're so good. The environment in itself, the calming environment, allows you often to take away the things that are your normal day-to-day and ponder and consider and have time with your thoughts. And for those of us who have lots of well-meaning plans to meditate regularly or to give ourselves thinking time regularly, we often don't. We have to force ourselves into scenarios where it actually allows us to take a breath. So spas and retreats are fabulous for those types of situations, and that's why they're so popular with entrepreneurs, because you actually can get such mental clarity, which obviously is excellent for your strategy, by doing those types of things for yourself. And that's what we did. We went and we had an amazing spa day, strategy day. We discussed business. We chatted about life, which always leads into both arenas. And in this fabulous steam room, which was very spicy, I remember that there was a lot of aromas. We were talking about it yesterday. There were a lot of aromas in this particular room. We were talking about how do we find a way for audience attraction to live and, continue on. And we knew that we'd had these 2 days, content days, booked in with our audience attraction VIPs this year because we were going out with a bang. If this was the last time we were doing the live, we were going to make a real special event out of it. And I also felt like the last couple of events that we'd done in 2022 had been very, very structured, very, very worky, we knew that Content Camp was going to be like that, but we wanted to have an event at the end, a little wrap party, something a bit more casual to let people let their hair down and actually talk and connect in a way where there isn't, people on walkie-talkies telling you who needs to stand on this mark here so that we can get these pictures and photographs and videography here. And so we knew that we had our wrap party. And we were talking about all of these things, and I just said, I wish there was a way to make it almost forever accessible. Now that it's never going to be a live course again, and, there's the opportunity here to really share it in a different format, I wish that we could just make it available and accessible in a way that people could enjoy it and people could refer back to it. And we know we can't do it live, but how else can we get the concept out there? And it came to me that I'm very lucky and super, super grateful that in our agency we do self-publishing, and we have done for a number of years now. And I just realised I could totally take the principles and turn it into a book. And at the wrap party for Audience Attraction, at the wrap party for Content Camp, I could present it, and it could be a sneaky little secret book launch. So that's what we did. And obviously there's absolutely no way that I would be able to put the content that is in over and above 14, 15 hours worth of live training, and then months and months of additional conversation, support, Q&A, and all of those wonderful things, including all of the workbooks and everything. That would be too heavy. People would perish whilst reading a book that long. But we were able to create a really simple, easy to follow, but hopefully enjoyable. I'm smiling as I say that because I've already had messages from people today saying how much they've loved it. Some people have bought the book this morning and finished it by this afternoon because they've enjoyed it so much, which is so nice. I've had photographs of people who have scribbled in the margins and highlighted areas, which is what I actually tell you to do in the book, and that's really beautiful. And yeah, so we managed to do it. Now, in true ADHD style, that was the 24th of April, and I knew that I was going to do it and it was going to get launched on the 20th of July. So that's a good couple of months there that I gave myself to write the book. But I didn't do that. We talked about it, we designed the cover, we chatted about the information that would go into it, but I actually didn't write it. And about 12 days ago, maybe 15 days ago now, I picked up in the evening and I wrote the first chapter. And it was a labour of love in true ADHD style. I wrote the book in 12 days. And I know that's madness. I know it's madness. But that's what I did. And I've been working until 2 o'clock in the morning some evenings. And I've been really busy with other projects. It's been our busiest time as a company these last few weeks because we've had lots of stuff booked in, lots of really important stuff that we're doing for our clients. We've been launch supporting. We've had 3 launches in this time that we've been supporting our clients, which are obviously so incredibly important to us. And there has been absolutely no possibility for 1 minute that we would ever take away any of our focus or attention from what we already had booked in. So I did what I needed to do in my own style, in the way in which my entire business has been grown in a short burst of epic energy. It has been born and it has gone out there. And as I record this for you, we are currently number 5 in the Amazon bestseller listings and rising every hour, and I'm not sure whether we'll make it to number 1, but I am already so ridiculously happy and grateful that we've gotten to those numbers, because I did not expect that. I made a conscious decision not to make a giant book launch a separate event. I made a conscious decision to make the event still be for the people who had done audience attraction, rather than making it an open to all event. We did invite some very, very core people who we have real relationships with in business that we just wanted to be able to share the moment with. But it was very few and far between in terms of the people that we invited along, because I wanted it to still have that angle of being about the course people and the people who have invested in themselves to learn this in a really deep way. And then we would share it with the rest of the world afterwards, which is what we've done. And we gave everybody who came to the party a free copy. So I didn't expect for people to require purchasing the book. But sure enough, you pretties, as soon as we went live with it, got straight on it and have risen it to that point. And we talk a lot about ripple effects. And you think that when you buy this book from me, and it is 99 pence on Kindle for a few days to give everybody the opportunity to grab it and get it at a really good price. But you think you're doing that and you're helping me, and you are, and I love it, thank you very much. But you're actually not just helping me, because what you essentially do is you put us on the bestseller list, and people watch those lists, and then other people who need this information, other people who are struggling right now, other people who really genuinely just want to learn how to do this one thing so that they can move their lives and businesses forward, will find this book and hopefully find it at the 99p price point and be helped by your kindness, by your elevation of this fantastic mission, this fantastic message that we're putting out there. So a massive thank you to all of you. And I just want to say that the main thing that all of the people who have done audience attraction and the people who I've spoken to today who have binge read this book in such a short period of time have said is that there is an illumination for a different type of marketing, one which is stemmed in authenticity, one that lays ahead all of the different things that we're taught that could be spammy, all of the different things that force us to neglect our core values in the pursuit of making money. And if there's one thing that I would love you all to be able to feel, is that you can be yourself and that you can connect to people who are going to change your business for the better, as well as you as the person for the better through them doing so in a way that doesn't compromise what you want to achieve and who you want to be and how you want to behave. We all have big dreams, and I don't think we should abandon them for a cookie cutter attempt. And there are certain things that we know really work, but I want you to take the information that you can and turn it into a giant pick and mix, a giant picky tea. Go and have a look at the buffet and take what really suits you, you know. Because essentially the best way for you to connect to your people is to feel entirely confident and comfortable to connect to your people. And that doesn't mean that there won't be work to do, because the confidence often isn't there. But once you do the good work and you recognise that there is another way, perhaps it will be a little bit easier and you'll be able to attract your ideal audience. And if you're listening to this and you haven't been and bought the book yet, please do check us out. We'll put the description out with a link in it so that you can buy it at the current price, which is limited. We can't keep it at that forever, but we will keep it at the 99p Kindle price as long as we can for a few more days. So go ahead and treat yourself. Let me know what you thought about it in our free group, or email me. I would love to know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, have a wonderful day. If you're loving our Pretty podcast, come on over to Social Pretties, our online safe house and sisterhood community. It's a safe space where female entrepreneurs connect and thrive in a warm, welcoming fold of pretty amazing women. You'll find an easy redirect in the description, and I can't wait to see you in there. And depending on where you're listening right now, we would love it if you would click subscribe or follow so that you can be the first to know when our new podcasts come out.